Hi, I'm Stu Blainer, and this is the Blainer Brothers Relaxation Quarter Hour. I will be doing today's episode solo, because Merle went out to purchase some bubble gum, but got lost in our corn maze. But don't worry, listeners. If I know Merle, he'll return in a week or two, stuffed to the brim with delicious corn. Today, we're going to talk about self-acceptance. Normally at this point, I would ask Merle a question related to the topic. Since Merle is not here, I will do the most normal alternative I can think of. Say, Merle, do you have any flaws that you have trouble accepting about yourself? I can relate to that, Merle. Picture yourself standing in front of RoboClone 0749C. You see it hanging by two large hooks on the assembly line. It is like looking into a mirror. Clone, what is your purpose, you ask? You created me to serve in the war against your nemesis, Masdar the Confident. You look into the clone's eyes. You wish they were a different color. You wish your eyes were a different color. That is when you notice that this clone has a lazy eye. Even you, with all of your flaws, do not have this defect. This clone would be a liability in any battle with Masdar. At least, that's what you tell yourself as you hit the terminate button on the control panel and the clone is dropped into the recycling pit. The assembly line moves forward and you are presented with another clone. Brekno, your advisor, stands to your left. If you keep judging your clones so harshly, you won't have any left to fight your war. But Brekno, you respond, if my clones aren't perfect, I'll lose this war. Brekno speaks up. If you don't have an army, you'll lose this war. Why not try complementing this next one? You decide to take the advice. Brekno is, after all, genetically and cybernetically designed to be superior to you in every way and capable only of giving you good advice. You look at the next clone. Your hair is very much like mine. I wish it were shinier. You've already made a mistake. Don't think about the way you'd rather have you or your clone's hair be. Just accept it as it is. You begin again. Your hair is what it is, you say to the clone, and you hit the "Don't terminate" button. That was the hardest thing you've ever had to do. But you feel you've grown. Later, you are in the training grounds with your clones. They are all holding your standard issue laser rifles and shooting at targets. They're not very good. You're nearsighted. You raise your voice. You clones are the worst bunch of soldiers I could ever ask for. In fact, I ought to terminate every single one of you. You raise your laser rifle and aim it at the clone you complimented earlier. But before you pull the trigger, Brekno's words echo in your mind. If you keep judging your clones this harshly, you won't have anybody for the war against Masdar. You lower your weapon. Keep, practicing, I guess. The clones look very excited. That was the most inspirational speech they'd ever heard. And it demonstrated an important lesson for self-acceptance. You must learn to forgive yourself and your clones for your and their mistakes. You leave the training area and head to your sleeping quarters. In the middle of the night, there's a knock on your door. It must be Brekno. You open the door, and you see the clone you complimented earlier. What are you doing here? You should be in your sleeping pod. The clone gazes into your eyes. I just wanted to say thank you. You know, for not terminating me. I really want to do my part to help fight Masdar. You gaze back into your clone's eyes, and for the first time, you think, maybe I have a shot at beating Masdar. Because now, I think I actually like myself. In fact, I think I actually love myself. You grab your clone by the shoulders and kiss it passionately on the mouth. You lead it by the hand back to your bed. And just before you are about to get started, you notice dozens of other clones peering in through the doorway. Room for one more, one of them says. There's room for as many as can fit, you say. And they all pile into the room. This is an important aspect of self-acceptance. In order to accept yourself, you must learn to love yourself as you are. The next morning, you all awaken, feeling like new. They all look to you as if waiting for a speech. my clones. What I've learned from the night I spent with you is that we are ready to take the fight to Masdar. There's not enough room on this planet for both of us. So we need to take the fight to Masdar's clone factory. What are you waiting for? Let's get dressed and head to war. They all cheer. As you and your army approach Masdar's clone factory, you begin to get nervous. Masdar's clones are bigger than yours, stronger, faster. They have very nice hair, good teeth. They're great at geometry. They rarely have a body odor, and all they need to do to keep it under control is shower regularly and wear deodorant. Their Facebook status updates always get a lot of likes, unlike yours. They leave insightful comments on YouTube videos. They have the best eye color, and they all have savings accounts, which you've been meaning to set up. But you need to remember, the path to self-acceptance is not to compare yourself to others. It's to accept yourself as you are. So you lead your clones on the raid and sneak into the back of the factory, each holding a laser rifle. As you head through the factory, looking for the control room, you find it strangely empty. Shouldn't Masdar be here? And all of Masdar's clones? No matter. You just have to destroy this factory. As you search for the control room, a broadcast starts playing on the large display screen atop the factory walls. It's Masdar. You foolish, foolish human. Masdar begins. You've walked right into my trap. You look around, and clones start climbing out from under boxes, out of pipes, and from under beds. You're surrounded. On the broadcast, Masdar is taunting you. I can't believe you even thought that was an army. It's like when a child writes a 12-page story and staples it together and says, "Look, I wrote a book." That's not a book, and that's not an army. The insult hits home, but you remind yourself, you're not judging yourself by others' standards, only your own. It doesn't matter what Masdar thinks about the size of your army, only what you think. Meanwhile, the broadcast continues, I'm leading a raid on your factory. You're devastated. Your clones begin shooting, but it's clear you're outnumbered. One after another they fall, and you give the order to retreat and head back to the factory. It's clear not many of them will make it out. You punch one of Masdar's clones in the face and run for the exit. They're shooting at you, but your clones are doing what they can to give you covering fire. Finally, you jump through the exit and hop onto your motorcycle. You ride back towards your factory. When you look behind you, you see that Mazdar's clones aren't following you, but neither are yours. When you arrive back at your factory, you find Mazdar alone with no clones, pouring gasoline, clearly intending to burn down your factory. You aim your rifle, unnoticed by Mazdar, but hesitate. Your laser could ignite the gasoline, burning down your own factory. You drop your weapon and approach Mazdar. Hello, my nemesis, Mazdar. I know you think you hate me. I used to think that I hated you. But what I've learned in the past day, on the assembly line, in the training room, and in an autoerotic orgy, is that who I really hated was myself, not you. And now that I know that, I don't want to fight anymore. And I don't want you to fight, because I don't think you really hate me, Mazdar. I think you hate yourself. But don't you see? You don't need to hate yourself. You step forward. Mazdar does too. And just as it is easier to hate other people when you hate yourself, it is easier to love other people when you love yourself. Mazdar looks shocked, both happy and angry at the same time. You raise one finger. Shh. You don't need to say it. You grab Mazdar by the hand, and you walk back to your sleeping quarters, thinking, I should put some mirrors in there. I think I'd like to watch myself. Something you never would have thought before.